right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Today, I've got a really special guest. I've got a fellow investor who does this business with heart first. Her name is Kim, and we're going to be talking about her journey so far and the sellers that she's been able to help. And actually, Kim, welcome. Number one, how you doing today?
Thanks. I'm doing great. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Kim. So I know that you're a superstar down in Jacksonville, Florida. You're helping a lot of people. You just got done telling me that. And in addition to that, we've been able to watch some of your success since we started doing some stuff together. I'm looking forward to this, but can we pick into the story of the seller that you recently helped?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So in anyone that's new to this broadcast, the only folks that get a chance to get interviewed and highlighted here are folks that do this business with the highest level of ethics. They really take care of the people that they're working with. And Kim displays that on all fronts. Like if anyone is looking at her business to do business with, I've got to watch Kim now for the last 4 months. And this lady does it with high ethics, high regard for people. So it's an honor and a privilege to have you here, Kim, first off.
Thank you.
Second off, let's hear this story. I got to hear the bits and pieces, the highlights of it, but what happened with the seller? Tell us the details.
Yeah. So, we got a lead through Facebook, and we immediately made contact. And I actually work with other partners, right? So, I do the same thing you do. The people I work with, they have to have the same ethics I do. They have to want to help people. And so, this individual reached out to the seller, and immediately she said, come see the house. So he went and he did that walkthrough, and we did all the analysis ahead of time. We basically looked up everything we could, so we were prepared to make a cash offer that day. And of course, he had a preliminary conversation with her on the phone. So when he went, she basically told him that she had just signed another offer, and that, she'd done that a couple of days prior. Well, so we just kept it open, and we said, let us do our analysis. Let's talk through this. If this doesn't transpire for you, or if you have any questions, just let us know. We're here to help. We want to make sure that this is going to be okay for you, because she needed to move. She had just lost her son. She had been taking care of him. She needed to move, was planning to move to be with her daughter. And she'd been in this particular home for like 40 years. So we said, we want to make sure that we can make this easy for you. So we even offered to help her with some of her moving process, even though we weren't going to be putting the house under contract that day. And
I want to stop and just highlight this for a second. So
Okay.
Literally, even though you knew at that time you weren't getting the deal because she had signed with someone else, you volunteered to help her move.
That's correct. We volunteered to help her. Yep.
Wow.
And that is, part of who we are, right? I mean, we really do want to help people. And when we hear a story, like that, we have heart. We want to make sure that people are getting what they need. We want to be there to consult with them, and whether we get the deal or not, whether we end up buying from them or not, because that's just who we are. And so that opened up the conversation, and it opened up the conversation for her to contact her daughter and have her daughter begin to talk to us. Mm-hmm. And we just fostered that relationship. And so about 2.5, 3 weeks later, they came back to us, and she expressed how she was having a hard time.
How'd she come back? And I'm curious, because a lot of people like, the follow-up thing, and you put out heart first, like true heart. You tried to help, and then you tried to serve, and then they came back to you. How'd they come back?
So part of it was through follow-up, okay. So we continued to follow up, and just to see, if everything was going okay. And then they reached out and called us back and said, we're having some problems. We are, the person who has it under contract is continuing to ask us if they can lower the price. They hadn't closed the transaction yet. And so she said at that point that she was unhappy and she wanted to know if we were still interested in buying. So we said promptly, look, if you're under contract, that needs to be honored. We need to know if you can cancel it or if it's been canceled. So she did say that she had canceled the contract with this individual, and we asked her to show us that cancellation notice. So we got that, and then we promptly, offered her what we had originally offered her, which was a cash price. We told her we could close it as quickly as we could, and she accepted that. So we ended up going ahead and writing that up, putting it under contract. And then, just working with her through that process. Well, come to find out at the end, because I think I talked to y'all prior to us actually closing the deal.
Yeah.
The day of, we got notice that there was another contract that had been put on the property. So what really transpired after everything kind of like we learned about it the morning of closing is that like in January, it had been put under contract. And that was the person who had not been closing it, not been trying to talk her down to a different price.
Yeah.
And then it had gone under contract the day before. We thought the contract that got canceled was the one that was the day before. We didn't know about the one in January. So
no.
Yeah. So what had happened was she canceled the one from January, and I don't know if she's probably just confused, right? So
yeah,
she probably just didn't realize that, okay, I've signed 2 contracts here. So the morning of closing, I mean, we got everything packaged up, we're ready to go. I get a call from the closing company who says we'd already had title search done, right? Everything was clear, was ready to go. And then they called and said, we did our final search, right? Because they do that day of to make sure nothing has transpired negatively. We found a recorded notice of contract.
Oh no.
And we're like, what? so we, obviously at that point we knew this person, right? The title company did, we did. So we both made calls and they agreed to release it.
For no cost?
Yeah, for nothing. Yeah, they agreed to release it for nothing.
Wait, well, what were your emotions when you got this notice? You're about to close and then you get this notice. What was going through your mind?
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, I was on a team status meeting with my team members.
Yeah.
And so we're like, okay, we got to put this on hold. So we got to go and figure this out. They were en route, like the seller was en route. Our partner who was heading to be at the closing was en route. We'd already wired the money, right? The money's sitting there ready to close.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, how are we going to make this happen? And I'm thinking, well, if they want money, what are we going to do? Because we were thin. I mean, we offered top dollar that we could, to still stay whole.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are we going to do? So it just worked out, and thank goodness that those people were honorable people and they were willing to release it. What I find interesting though, is that they had it under contract and they never marketed it.
Didn't market it. And why'd they even record the notice?
I think it's probably just part of their process is my guess. Because they're strictly a wholesaling company. And so I was like, thankfully they did that and we were able to make it happen for them, because not only like all this had to happen, the daughter had come in and they literally had trucks loaded up and they were ready to leave now to go to where she was moving to.
Wow.
So, yeah. So it's, it happened. The seller was very thankful. Right?
What the seller say? I always love to hear this part.
They were just thankful that we were there to help them. They were thankful that we were honest and that we were willing to come to the table. They were upset, obviously, because of how they had been treated previously. So they were like, they were just very thankful that we were able to be there and be honest and help them through this situation. So, and that is what we want to do, to help people.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, this is beautiful, beautiful story, Kim.
It really is.
I know it's fairly recent, but have you touched base with the seller at all or heard anything else?
Yeah, we stayed in touch. They got where they were going. Okay. We've told them, that we'll let them know how things are going. We got rid of a lot of stuff they wanted to leave behind. We just told them, leave whatever you want. If you
Hmm.
can't take it, we'll get rid of it. So yeah, we definitely are in touch.
Kim, this is beautiful. And in addition to you and your partners running a good business, I think a key ingredient for that deal was that you put your heart out there first. You were willing to serve
Hmm.
first. And obviously, you made the numbers line up and all that stuff, but it goes beyond just numbers in business.
Yeah,
People want to feel you. They want to know that you're
yeah,
actually there to serve.
it really is. I mean, you have to be there to help people no matter what. And that's what we do. It's what we do on, with sellers. It's what we do on the back end with buyers who are buying the properties that we rehab and sell. It's what we do with our tenants. I mean, we're here to help people, and that's really what it is about for us. So
This is the exact kind of people that I like to work with, Kim, and I feel honored that we get to work together. Thank you
yeah,
for choosing to come and work with us.
yeah, me too. Y'all got some great stuff. I'll tell you what.
Why did you end up choosing to work with us over
The
other things?
Facebook advertising,
Yeah.
that's a new thing for us, and we've so my background, even though I've been investing a long time, we've always bought through, wholesalers, through, real estate auctions, that kind of thing. And we've really never put a whole lot of upfront engine work to get leads to come in. And so we wanted to do that. And, I saw your stuff about Facebook advertising, and to me, it makes sense. It's like, hey, I want this to be easy,
Yeah.
let the leads come in. So we're still learning about that. We still have a lot to learn, a lot to, truly tweak. But I love everything you do, and I love your heart. I love, how you're educating people. I think that's amazing. And all the automation you do. So my background's in technology. So, I kind of, that really excites me to hear all this automation. So
Yeah. Well, Kim, it's an honor and a privilege to work with you. Keep helping these sellers. The world needs more people like you out there. I know that
thanks.
there's some people that enter, it's every business, it's not just real estate, but every business has some people that they do things the wrong way. But when you
Mm,
get someone that's doing it the right way, like you guys are going to soar. You guys are going to keep helping people and keep climbing. So it's a
thanks. I
blessing.
appreciate that.
Yeah. Kim, anything else you want to say to the world before we cut it off?
If you don't mind, I do want to share
Yeah,
something that we're doing, which is about helping people,
I'd
because
love to
it's
know.
one of the reasons why we do what we do.
Yeah.
And so we actually every year are starting a process where we're going to help a family in need by doing some kind of construction project. And this is the first year we're actually kicking this off. So this October, we'll be actually gifting a family in need in our local market a construction project valued up to $10,000. And that's really literally coming out of our profits, our money that we make with our businesses. We're just setting that aside every year. And we've started the process. We've got 7 people that have been submitted to us right now. So once we get the queue up a little bit, then we'll actually be selecting from that queue. But that's something that we're passionate about. It's construction related, house related, but then also helping. So, that's why we do what we do, right? That's why we step in, make money doing this so that we can give back to our community. So I just wanted to share that because that's so important to us.
I
So,
love this. You know when you go to the movies and you see a really good movie and you get those tingles on your
yeah.
spine? You just gave me that.
Good. Good. We're really looking forward to it. We're excited about it. We had a nonprofit previously, and it didn't kind of go the way we wanted it to. So we've kind of shifted, and this is what we're going to do because it's simple, it's focused, it relates to, construction, housing, that kind of thing. but then also can help somebody that's actually in need. So, and who knows where it's going to go, right?
Yeah.
Who knows?
I,
So,
I want to pick your brain on one more question.
okay.
Okay. So you've got a heart like gold. How, if there's a new real estate investor sitting out there right now trying to get into this business,
Mm-hmm.
what's the biggest piece of advice, or the one piece of advice that you'd give them entering this business?
So I would say that, you have to be in action the minute you start. So, learning is a process, and we're always going to learn. Like, it never stops learning. I mean, you never, never, ever stop learning, but you have to be in action. So find a way to be in action, and this will happen for you, right?
Yeah, beautiful. And I see you taking action all the time. You're a very, very common member in the group, cheering people on and out there
Mm-hmm.
doing it yourself. I see it. Kim, thank you for this time. We appreciate it. And everyone, as part of the Social Media Blueprint family and those that are looking at this opportunity, take the leadership precedent that Kim has set. She has set a bar that basically says serve other people
Mm-hmm.
first, and the business will come. It will. Kim, thanks again. Appreciate your time. God bless you.
All right. Thank you, Nate. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, we'll see you
All
again
right.
soon.
All right. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye bye.